Back to another week of the Nando Thoughts podcast. I'm your host, Nando, of course. Tonight, we're going to talk about Boosie Badass trying to get out of pardon. And the real reason why DC went into Iran. And what's going on with the IBM stock, huh? It's down. Crazy. First time since 1968 they had a drop as such. So let's get into it, man. Gonna talk about a few topics. And what's up to Jersey Mike's? Number 13 for me, Mike Sway, my favorite sub. I just got finished eating the sub, so you know I'm good. Let's get into this pod. Bootsy Badass, come to the front, man. Man, Bootsy got handled, man. I tell you now, Bootsy got scammed up. This is it. This is definitely the summer of scamming. Because, I'm sure that this is not the only person that sent money to somebody in D.C. thinking he was going to get a pardon. For anybody that consider this an option, take this as a lesson. You cannot pay for pardon. It's illegal. Even if somebody tell you that you can, it's not possible. Now you might can pay somebody to do some backdoor moving and shaking, but you better know who you're dealing with. It better not be some guys named Joe and Jack. These guys finagling. They took him for a ride. And now this is kind of where, I think before he started getting in touch with these people, he was already, talking to the right folks. He met with the people at the White House. He met with a lot of the folks that can make it happen. And evidently, they didn't, want to touch it. So he tried to, figure he could penetrate through some lobbyists. And it's a bad move. D.C. is a tricky city. You got to know somebody in D.C. It's that kind of town. You got to have a connection. You can't just roll up in a bag of money and think it's going to work, because it don't go down like that in D.C. It's just not that simple. So now I don't know what's going to happen with the money. I don't know if he going to be able to sue those people or what. I don't know what's going to happen. But it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing in so many ways. $600,000. Can you imagine what is going on? Why would you send somebody $600,000? I mean, it don't even make any sense. I think, $5,000 a month as a retainer fee, $10,000 a month as a retainer fee, but the $6,000 up front is crazy. I don't know what was said to this young man to make him convince him to send $600,000, but he definitely got scammed. And yeah, man, anybody out there trying to get a pardon from the president, they got to have connections, man. It's just that simple. All these big billionaires that's getting out of jail and all that stuff, they got people that know people that know people. It's no doubt about it. I don't think everything is on the up and up, and I think it is a pardon season for people that know how to get it done. But you got to know how to move. It's not even political. I don't think it even matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I think if you got the money, you got the connections, you could still make it happen. But you got to be able to keep your mouth shut. Now, Bootsy, it's nobody going to touch you right now. And that firm, reputation is getting messed up. So they both lost. I mean, they got $600,000, but was it worth it? Was it worth taking that $600,000 and putting your whole company reputation on the line? The administration ain't gonna touch you. anything that you connected with in DC for your other customers, they projects have probably gone down the drain. So yeah, man, it was a bad move for both sides. And it just goes to show you that you gotta have connections in DC. It's as simple as that. I'm not gonna get into a whole bunch of things talking about Boosie this or Boosie that because I don't know the man, but I just know the situation that he mentioned and he put his privy to, um, that he got ripped off and that he won his money back. I guess he want half the money back. I would want all my money back, but I guess half is what he called him for. So yeah, give him half his money back, man. And stop playing with Boosie like that. And it's gonna have to be what's gonna be until they figure this out, man. Man, I tell you now, IBM is in trouble, man. They went down 25% in these stocks, and I'll tell you what happened. Second quarter earning, they didn't hit. They came up short, and they realized that AI is hurting their business, just like everybody else. Everybody else all over the world and every walk of life is being affected by AI. And so their business model is software and the infrastructure that makes up that. But that's not what AI is pretty much buying. They buying up storage space and memory. And it's taken away from their business because the money that used to go to them is now going over to this new AI ventures, that data centers and pretty much everything like that. So it's not just AI, but it's not just IBM. I mean, but it's all the companies that work on software and infrastructure is having the challenge of AI taking funding, and they don't know how to adjust to it. Just like a lot of people in society don't, because AI is moving so fast that you think for a moment you lucky, and then you realize this stuff is right on your heels. So I don't know how this AI thing gonna fall out, but I think it's gonna cause a lot of damage, and I don't think we got the right people in DC to control it. I think that's one of the reasons why we need to make sure that we put new members in Congress and the Senate to be able to navigate this AI landscaping, that understands the AI landscaping, not these older people because they just don't know. They're gonna do whatever they being told to do by lobbyists and people that got interests other than the public's interest. Now AI can be helpful in many ways, but it also can be damaging to many communities. So we got to have a balance of how it's rolled out, how we implement it throughout our communities, and we need people to make decisions of what's going to be the gateway, um, and how this thing can, get out of hand if we don't have the right people in DC. And it's going to affect us in so many ways. It really is. But we got the people down up in the Senate and the Congress right now having hearings for our new Justice Department. And do we appoint a new, administrator for the Justice Department? And I think we shouldn't even have the hearings. I think this guy is disqualified because he was the lawyer for the president. And he's already shown how he's going to respond if he's given that job full time as the director of the Justice Department. Um, we can't control that guy. We won't be able to control that guy. We haven't been able to control that guy, and he's already doing illegal activities that just never been done before, and trying to give Trump and his friends a slush fund of money after they've been convicted for assaulting police and people on Capitol Hill and also trying to give Trump, a free pass with IRS. It's kind of embarrassing that we got to keep going through these things. We got to keep experiencing these things, and it's crazy. It comes up to an interesting point. A lot of people have been trying to figure out why we are in Iran and why we going through what we're going through with Iran. We never had to be in that situation. That's a self-inflicted conflict. Um, it was not something that was taken lightly. Okay, a lot of people underestimate Trump and his people and how they moving, but they're moving precisely as they thought things would be. I don't think they thought that they would have as much resistance as they have, but I do think the outcome is obvious for them. They have a motivation. They, meaning the Trump administration, motivation is clear. The motivation is this: Trump want to take over Iran because Trump want to run the oil market. He want America to be the number one oil provider to all the countries. He don't want us to depend on Iran anymore for any type of, anything. He want to take it all. He want to have China and Russia and all those other countries have to come to him to get the oil. Come to us to get the oil, rather. And his plan is to tear up that infrastructure so it can't exist anymore, so it can't provide that oil. It had nothing to do with a nuclear weapon. It had nothing to do with a nuclear weapon. Iran is in the same situation it's been in for the last 50 years. Nothing changed. So why do he attack? It's the oil. He said it was the oil. He made it clear that it's the oil. He made it clear that Iraq, he wanted to take the oil. But this is a bold move to use our military in this way to position us to be the number one provider for this oil. Because whoever controls the oil controls the world. Because we can basically, freeze out countries and control their economies by controlling the oil. And we had no relationship with Iran. Iran was dealing with our adversaries and giving them better situations. And now they're going to have to come through us to get that same situation. That's the long-term goal of what we're doing in Iran. Don't make no doubt about it. They had nothing to do with oil, Israel, or none of that other stuff. That's the misdirect. They're trying to misdirect you, but it was strictly a move that he was going to make 6 months into his administration. Because you got to think about what he's doing. He went into Venezuela. What do they have? Oil. They had the most oil than anybody in the world. He went into Iran, and what do they have? Oil. Him and his oil friends has planned this out to bring that business to our country so we can control that product. This country, our country, America, has no control of any serious minerals, anything that the world needs. But the world need oil, and we have a way to get it. And so we're controlling these territories, these areas, and their oil. And then we're taking it. We're taking their profits, and we're taking everything. So he's going to destroy the infrastructure, all the ports and everything. And they're not going to be able to produce any type of oil. And we're going to take it out the ground and put it on the market and sell it. That's the plan. Pay attention to what's happening in Dubai. They starting to do new construction on some of their ports, and not necessarily Dubai, but Qatari and all those other people along the other side of the strait, starting to build up new port infrastructure. It's going to take some time for that infrastructure to be done, but they're not going to be able to. They're not going to have to go through Iran anymore because after this skirmish and Iran attacking our partners um, in the Middle East, they're going to make sure that Iran don't have any say in who gets or who don't get oil. They're going to take that full capability away from that country. So stay tuned. That's just what it's going to be, man. That's just what it's going to be. You know, I always said that I think the Supreme Court needs to take the immunity away from Donald Trump and put some guardrails there because right now he's at the point where he's feeling untethered. Untethered is a dangerous way to make him feel because Donald Trump will go as far as he can go to disrupt our elections. And our democracy at its point right now will never be the same. A lot of things has been, damaged because of this man. And the only thing we can do right now is hope that the courts will reopen the case of granting him immunity because by him having that immunity revoked, excuse me, I'm coming off this big ass sub. By having his immunity revoked rather, it put him on some guardrails to slow down, to be more cautious about just doing what he want to do. But if he don't feel like there's going to be consequences, then I think that he will keep going until he run into a consequence. And I know for a fact that there's some state attorneys planning to file charges against Donald Trump and his administration in the coming weeks. I don't know what that's going to be as far as the Supreme Court, how they going to get involved or not get involved. That's another thing. So we got to, just see what happens. Just see what happens, man. That's all we can do, man. I mean, I'm trying to be as cautious as I can. It's just talking about these topics because I really don't want to expose too much information that I have. When I'm talking to you, I have certain kind of information I don't want to spill out because it's probably not the right time, or I probably just want to protect people that told me things. So when you see me hesitant talking, that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking about what I'm saying to make sure I don't, leave any doors open. But it's a bad situation, however you look at it, by having this man untethered and running our nation and our government the way he's running it, because it's putting people in harm's way. These young soldiers most likely will see ground action. I think he's going to get to the point where he's going to pull the trigger and it's going to be some ground action going on. Give me a second, guys. I think he's going to pull the trigger and make it, ground action happen. I'm gonna read some stuff to you in a few seconds. Give me a minute, guys. Let me see what this says. Don't forget that shit. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this say. Okay. Anyway, I'll read that to you in a few seconds. But I think we gotta figure out moving forward. How do we protect our elections, and because it seems like there's a lot of people in this country that still are part of this situation that Donald Trump created. They still support this man in spite of nothing's been done to support them. He's done nothing to support the American people. Everything he's done has been for himself, and it's shown so many ways. It's shown so many ways. Let me read some of the Blue Sky. How many guys follow me on Blue Sky? How many guys follow me on Blue Sky? That's the question. Let me read some of this Blue Sky stuff here. Blue Sky, Blue Sky. Here we go. So I posted on Blue Sky. I always post on Blue Sky when I don't get to talk to you guys during the week. I kind of just hang out on Blue Sky and different spots. But Blue Sky is where I post most of the time related to the show. So it say we need the Supreme Court to stop and remove the feudal immunity of the Trump administration enjoying because he's abusing the power. He's planning to interfere in our elections. That's one of the posts I put up there. Let's see. At this point, DHS is not even aiming at targets. They aiming at color. That's another post. So let me see. I asked the question: why is the media giving Trump so much time? He's using our airways to promote propaganda. That's tomorrow night. At some point, we have to stop it. So that's one of the comments that I post up there. But tomorrow night, Trump is going to once again try to convince the people that the election was stolen, that he lost, and that he found some information, and try to illegitimize the senators of Georgia. But nobody gonna pay no attention to that. It's a mess that we got to spend so much time worrying about this man and thinking about him trying to destroy our country rather. And I see him trying to get $1.5 trillion to fight a war, but we don't have the money to pay for health care, pay for housing, pay for education, pay for all the other things we need in society. And our government's supposed to be helping us, not putting us in situations and creating these weird, situations, but they're supposed to be helping us. They're supposed to be looking into our communities and saying, how can we take these tax dollars and make it better for you, the American citizen, no matter what your political affiliation is, how I can make your life better. How can I help your constituents? And they're not doing that. They partisan, going back and forth because of what your party is. But it don't matter. When you pay taxes, you don't pay it as a party. You pay it as an American citizen. So as an American citizen, you should receive services. You should receive services from your government equally. Not because of who or what you support. And this government don't seem to think that way. Hopefully, after this election, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in this election. I don't know if it's going to be. I just don't know. I can't even speculate about what we're facing because I don't know. I mean, I don't put nothing past Donald Trump and how he's trying to maintain power and keep what he has or become even more powerful. So power is a funny thing. A lot of people tend to not respect the power that they have, and that's a vote. No matter what party you in, if you're struggling out there right now, if you're going through financial hardships, if you find it hard to make a living day to day, then you need to vote Democrat. Even if you don't support Democrats' ideas or, just none of their policies, you need to do it just to bring yourself relief, just to get this man foot off your neck. Because as much as you care about him, he does not care about you. And unfortunately, that shouldn't be the case. because you supported him. He should support you, but he don't support you. He don't support the farmers. He don't support the unions. He don't support anybody. And it's his family, him, and that's all that matters. Sure, simple as that. His family, him, and that's all that matters. In the coming days, mark my word, we will see J.D. Vance start to run into a bunch of turbulence. And the reason why he's going to run into a bunch of turbulence because J.D. Vance put out a statement saying that he don't support the way Trump handled the Epstein files, or the administration handled the Epstein files, and that's contrary to Trump and his administration, line on that. They think they did what they had to do under the law and all that stuff. But he's saying that he don't think the administration did the best they could with dealing with the Epstein files, and he wished they would have did differently. However, so that comment is going to cause a rift, and we're going to see the fallout in the next coming weeks. You're going to start seeing J.D. Vance having a lot of problems. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for that. That's coming up. Yeah, man, I'll be seeing all this stuff from a mile away, but I know it's going to go down. So I'm here to tell you about it. Let's see what else we're going to talk about tonight, man, because I'll tell you, man, I got so much I want to be bringing to you guys, especially as we get closer to this election, man. I want you to really vet these members, man. I don't think none of them that's currently in office deserve re-election. None of them. None of them. All 500 of them need to get the street. That's 100 senators and 400 and some odd Congress members. They all need to hit the street. Simple as that. That's how I feel anyway. I'm an independent, so I could need a party. I don't care for either party. That's real talk. Anyway, man, I'm going to get out of here right now, man, because I got to go. It's 8:22 in the evening. I got to get up 3 o'clock in the morning and take care of something, so I got to go. I appreciate you guys. Have a good day. I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace. Bye-bye, y'all. See y'all next week. Next Wednesday. YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky, Nando Thoughts Podcast. Nando Thoughts. Sign up for my Blue Sky daily updates. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. And we're going to get this thing back up to speed. Slowly but surely. This is my second show, so it's going to get there, I promise you. Be patient with me. Show me some grace. I've been through something. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you guys next week. Peace and love. Don't push and shove. I'm out.